Chapter 223 leaks are out, and coming from the previous chapter, the battle between GOJO and Sukuna has officially begun. Now, I'm going to jump right into the chapter, but before that, I just want to quickly let you guys know that I'm a little sick, so if I sound a little sick, that's why, because I am sick. But I'm not going to let that stop me from reviewing this chapter, because this chapter is absolute gas. Anyways, though, huge shout out to TCB Scans for the leaks, as always, and let's jump right into the chapter. So the chapter starts with Ichiji asking GOJO about his prison realm experience. Like how did time pass while GOJO was in the prison realm? And this was actually brought up a couple of chapters ago when GOJO was being released, but GOJO's response is actually really nonchalant. He says it's pretty much like a really busy work week, so time moves really fast, but it also feels really long at the same time. And let's be honest here, we didn't really expect GOJO to completely explain to us, the dynamics of the prison realm. In fact, by this point in the story, I pretty much forgot about it, but yeah, if that gives you any semblance of an explanation, just think of a really busy work week. Anyways, moving on, GOJO then asks about the people that was affected in Shibuya by his unlimited void, GOJO's domain expansion. And Ichiji says that they are all fully recovered. So yeah, so for the sake of GOJO, I guess that's, pretty good to hear, because I guess it's been about 2 months, since Shibuya at this point, or at least close to that, that time range since, GOJO's been out of the prison room for 19 days, and then they waited pretty much a month to start the battle. So GOJO reaches the top of the building and says, "Let's get started, Urahime, Grandpa." Now, at first I was kind of confused why, Ichiji, Urahime, and, the Gramps, why they were even with GOJO, but it's gonna make a lot more sense later, as in a couple pages. But yeah, the scene switches to Sukuna. Urahime tells him that even though the fight is meant to happen today, they don't really know about the time or the place. But Sukuna says there's no need to decide about that because GOJO is releasing such a high amount of aura from the top of that building that Sukuna pretty much already knows where the fight is going to take place, or he has a pretty good idea of it. We then go into a flashback of the Gramps Gakugaji telling GOJO that he killed Yaga, and GOJO just pretty much says okay, because in GOJO's eyes, it's pretty much GOJO's fault because he wasn't there, he got sealed, so of course they would have him kill Yaga. If he just disobeyed them, he would probably just be killed himself, right? So yeah, instead of putting the blame on Gakuganji, GOJO instead just places the blame on the higher ups, as it rightfully should be. GOJO then asks Gakuganji about Yaga's final words while Panda is listening in on them, and he says that Yaga revealed how to make the cursed corpse, to which GOJO replies with, "It seems like you changed, Grandpa," because that wasn't reported to the higher ups. The next page reveals that the higher ups have actually been killed by GOJO, with GOJO saying that if Gramps becomes the new leader, that things will be a lot better. Okay, so just like a lot of you, I'm not surprised about this. I mean, let's be honest here, it was only a matter of time before GOJO off these guys. Even before GOJO was sealed, they were already doing questionable things, and I think people are really misconstrued on the whole special grade thing. People don't realize that the special grade ranking is a way for the higher ups to monitor the strongest. That's how it's always pretty much been, right? And then they've had the execution orders. They pretty much X out GOJO in case he comes back. They killed off Yaga. It's just a corrupt system. So yeah, of course they gotta go. Anyways though, getting back to the present, Ichiji is behind GOJO setting up a barrier. We then get a little bit of an inner monologue for Ichiji, and it says that he's sad because to him, he feels like he's someone that ran away, but at the same time he didn't, because he's weak, but at the same time he wants to be able to help, And to me, it's such a really good character moment, because earlier in the series, GOJO actually told Ichiji bro, you need to stop, you need to go. And he wasn't saying it to call Ichiji a bum or anything like that, but he was just saying it, just to look out for him as a person. He's not a fighter. And the fact that we're this is the last arc of the series, and Ichiji still has these thoughts, these self-deprecating thoughts, and it's really just interesting to see, especially considering that he's literally right next to the strongest character. Moving on though, it says, meanwhile, Urahime is performing a dance ritual. Urahime's curse technique is named Solo Solo Kinku. Her curse technique can enhance the total output of cursed energy of any sorceress, including herself. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. Not only do we get to see Urahime's curse technique, but we get to see the reason for, them actually being there in the first place, which is to give GOJO that initial support. And it says says Gojo, Urahime, Ichiji, and Grandpa, they all do this like ritual dance to, you know, activate the curse technique, which leads to Gojo blasting a 200% hollow purple towards Sukuna. And Sukuna, still on that same building with Urahime, immediately sensing the danger, goes to try to tank the hollow purple shot. And if you look at the panel, it just looks insane that Sukuna would actually even try this. Like, this actually looks insane. I have no idea why Sukuna tried to like block it with his like bare hands. I guess he's just him. But another thing to think about is maybe Sukuna just didn't have time to do anything else. I mean, we know that hollow purple is pretty fast, but we don't know exactly how fast it is. And we also see that it says Sukuna was intimidated. So I don't know, maybe there is a case that, you know, he just got a little flustered or something and he didn't know. But moving on, it says all of the buildings in Gojo's team's way were fully destroyed. And the narrator goes on to explain that Sukuna misunderstood Gojo's action due to Ichiji forming a barrier. So although Sukuna felt something was coming, he didn't really catch the cursed energy output blast until like the last second. So yeah, basically what I was saying earlier kind of applies. He didn't really notice what was going on. Like, he didn't realize that he was getting like attacked until like the last second, which at that point, you know, the best thing to do is probably, you know, reinforce yourself with cursed energy. So that's what he did. Another thing to note is that Urahime is actually on that roof with him. Like, she's on the building with him. So I guess my real question is did Urahime just get clapped? Like, did she just get no diffed, or like did she like escape or something? Like, I'm sure that like she escaped, right? Moving on, the final pages show that Sukuna is missing his right arm from taking Gojo's attack. We then see Gojo teleporting in front of Sukuna to say, "It seems like you're misunderstanding, so I'll tell you, you are the challenger here," and then says Sukuna is pissed off. End of chapter. Okay, so the way that Gojo just pulled up on Sukuna and hit him with those bars, bro, like, that was so disrespectful. Like, can we just appreciate the energy that Gojo's coming into this with? Like, I'm here for it 1000%, but yeah, pretty insane spoilers. And I really like the fact that Gojo started the fight off with hollow purple. He didn't, you know, take any chances. He immediately tried to off him, and you know, to me, that's just straight respect. That's real right there. So yeah, pretty good chapter. I can't wait till like official scans and stuff come out, because dude, this is gonna be a good read, bro. This is gonna be a good read. But I will see you guys in the official review. Hope you guys liked the video. If you liked the video, make sure you give it a like, subscribe if you like this kind of content. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.